Welcome back to the deep dive. This time you sent in some pretty interesting sources,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah, they explored this concept of using typing
Typing.
as a path to better health.
Wow.
Yeah, it combines ancient practices like reflexology and affirmations with this, modern day thing we do, typing.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm curious, have you ever considered that, your keyboard could have, healing potential?
It's funny you should say that because this system outlined in the sources, they call it the typing reflexology system or the mind-body healing reflexology system. And it really is about tapping into that energy.
Okay, so I know a bit about reflexology, like the points on our hands and feet connect to different organs,
Right.
but how does typing even, play into that?
Well, it's almost like thinking of your fingertips as this control panel for your body.
Okay,
So, for example, the source points out that if you stimulate the thumb, it might influence like the brain and the neck,
okay.
while, let's say, the index finger connects to the digestive system.
Hmm.
And this system uses that map, that connection, and combines it with very specific techniques for typing.
So instead of me, pressing on my thumb to try to get rid of a headache, I should be typing with it. I'm trying to picture this.
It's not quite so literal.
Yeah.
It's more based on the idea of motor skills.
Okay.
The source suggests that the repetitive motions, the focus movements, actually can boost our concentration and our intention, and that can enhance the healing process.
So it's not like just random typing. There's an actual method to this. The way we move our fingers matters.
Yes, precisely. It uses specific finger and letter combinations, almost like a code,
Interesting.
to target different areas of the body.
So there's another layer to this too, and that's the affirmations.
Right.
Because the source is full of them.
Yes.
It's all these positive phrases for all these different issues. My digestion is perfect. I release stress.
Right. Right.
Just positive self-talk with finger exercises.
And there's a reason for that. The system's tapping into neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to actually change and rewire itself.
Huh.
By repeating these affirmations, you could be actually influencing your brain to focus on healing, on well-being.
So we're training our minds and bodies at the same time.
Yes.
The typing stimulates the reflex points,
Yeah.
and then the affirmations are working on the mental and emotional level.
Exactly. And they actually suggest a 5-step process in the source for creating your own personalized healing typing system.
Oh, cool. So let's walk through those steps. It seems like step one is pretty simple. Just figure out what you want to address.
Right, what you want to focus on.
Yeah.
Could be anything, digestive problems, stress, low energy.
Specific aches and pains, maybe.
Exactly.
And then you design your phrases, those little positive things
Those affirmations.
that target the issue you've chosen.
Yeah.
So for instance, if I wanted to feel more energetic, I could say, my energy flows freely. I am vibrant and strong. Something like that.
That's a great example. They encourage you to use the present tense and really focus on those positive feelings.
Okay, and then step three, this is where it seems to get a little bit more technical. You got to match the phrase with the correct reflexology zone using the finger that's connected to it.
Right.
So it's like looking back at that fingertip map and seeing what's related to the thing you're working on.
Exactly.
And then the practice, you have to actually sit down and type them out.
You got to do it.
The source suggests 5 to 10 minutes every day, typing the phrase thumb to 50 times.
Wow.
That sounds almost meditative, Just the rhythm of the typing, the positive words.
Yeah, and the source even suggests using visualization.
Oh, wow.
So while you're typing, you're picturing your body healing and really feeling those affirmations.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
And then the final step is all about keeping track of your progress, how you feel. I like that it really emphasizes being aware and adjusting as you go.
Yeah.
It feels very, personal.
It is. It is. And, the source actually goes even deeper by connecting it to another ancient system, the chakras.
Oh,
Have you ever explored that?
I know a little bit about the chakras, just the
Yeah.
energy centers in the body.
Right.
But I'd love to hear more about how they connect to this typing system.
Well, that's where our deep dive gets really interesting. We're going to delve into those specific chakras and how they actually tie into healing through typing. So like you said, you're familiar with chakras as these energy centers in the body.
Yeah.
And, the system that we're talking about, it really links those directly to typing. Each chakra has certain keys and affirmations.
Okay, so I'm picturing a keyboard with a chakra chart on top of it. Is there a specific way to do this?
The source actually talks about a 7-day chakra typing routine.
Okay.
And each day focuses on a different chakra.
Okay.
And you combine like the typing of certain keys with these mental affirmations.
So walk me through it. How would I actually do this?
Okay, so let's just take the root chakra, for instance.
Okay.
That's associated with like feeling grounded, secure.
Right.
On day one, you would type the keys V, B, C, X, and Z. And you would repeat an affirmation like, I am grounded, stable, and strong.
So I'm literally just typing those letters over and over.
Yeah.
Does it matter? Like, what order? Do I make words?
You know, the source isn't super specific about that. It's more about the repetition and the intention behind it.
Okay.
You can make words, you can make mantras,
Gotcha.
or just type the letters.
Okay, so it's like I'm sending like a little message to my root chakra through my fingers.
Exactly.
What about the other chakras? What do the other 6 days look like?
So day 2 would be the sacral chakra.
Okay.
And that's all about creativity and emotions, right?
Right.
So you'd type A, R, F, G, and T,
Okay.
and you'd say something like, I embrace joy, creativity, and flow.
So each day is like tuning into a different energy center through the typing. What's really interesting to me is this system goes beyond like just the physical stuff with reflexology. It's bringing in this like energy system.
Right.
It's a very layered approach.
It is. It is. And, you know, it goes even deeper in the source. They introduce this idea of aksharas.
Asharas.
Yeah. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I remember it like vaguely.
Okay.
Remind me.
So aksharas are these specific syllables from ancient Indian traditions.
Right, right.
And they're believed to carry like vibrational energy that can influence the chakras.
Okay, yeah, now I remember. So how do those fit in with the typing?
Well, the source suggests that as you're typing the keys for each chakra, you can also mentally chant the akshara that goes with it.
Oh, interesting.
So for the root chakra, you'd chant Lam.
Okay.
And for the sacral chakra, you would chant Vam.
So I'm typing, I'm affirming, and I'm chanting. That sounds kind of intense.
Oh, it's about building that focused intention.
Oh.
You don't have to like chant out loud. It can be very subtle.
Right, right. More internal.
Yeah,
I like that it gives you options. You can keep it simple or go, like full on.
Exactly. So, you know, they also talk about visualization in the source. They really encourage you to, while you're doing all of this, to picture the chakra.
Oh, wow.
Like see the color, feel the energy in that part of your body.
Yeah, so you're bringing in like a visual element.
Yes. And don't forget to breathe.
Oh, right. That's important.
It sounds so simple, but it can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
You know, breathe deeply as you type and then exhale slowly.
So we've got the physical typing, the mental focus with the affirmations, the energy of those aksharas, the visualization, and then we're breathing. It's like a lot.
It's a lot, but it's all very intentional.
It is. It is. But I have to ask, is there any actual science behind this?
You know, that's a great question, and the source actually addresses it a little bit.
Okay, I'm curious.
Because while this typing reflexology system might be pretty new and, you know, not really studied,
Right.
a lot of these concepts actually do have a scientific basis.
Okay, like what?
Well, like the placebo effect, that's
Right.
pretty well documented. You
Yeah.
know, the power of belief.
Yeah.
So even if we don't fully get how typing these keys could, like, directly impact our health, the belief itself could trigger changes.
So our minds might be part of the process,
Yeah.
even if we don't fully understand it.
Exactly. And then there's this whole field of psychoneuroimmunology.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it looks at how our thoughts, emotions, nervous system, and immune system are all connected.
Okay.
And this system, with all of its emphasis on the positive, could be tapping into that, maybe even influencing our immune function.
That makes sense. We know that stress can really weaken your immune system.
For sure.
So maybe focusing on positive thoughts can do the opposite.
Right. And then there's the whole concept of energy blocks, which, you know, a lot of these traditional healing systems believe in,
Right, right.
where these imbalances in your body can actually lead to illness. And, you know, typing, especially when you're focusing on these specific points, it could maybe help release those blocks.
So we're kind of looking at a blend of science and ancient wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Some things may be more scientifically validated than others.
Right.
But even if we don't have all the answers yet about how this typing reflexology thing works, I think it's really interesting to think about the possibilities.
Absolutely. And even if some of the benefits are, you know, because of the placebo effect, it doesn't make it any less real.
Right. The power of belief is definitely a strong thing.
Yes, it is. So, I mean, where does this leave our listener, right? It might seem kind of overwhelming.
A little bit, yeah.
All this stuff, you know, chakras and affirmations.
Where do you even begin?
Well, the cool thing is that it's really adaptable.
Okay.
You could just start with the basic 5 steps, pick one thing you want to work on,
Right.
and build a simple typing practice.
And if the chakras seem interesting, you can try that 7-day routine, play around with the keys, the affirmations. The source gives you all these charts and examples.
Exactly.
It's about finding what you connect
Yes. What feels right for you?
with. Yeah, and remember, it's an exploration.
It is.
You don't need to be an expert to try this.
Not at all.
Just start typing, breathing, affirming, and see what happens.
Exactly. You might surprise yourself.
I've been thinking about this whole typing reflexology system.
Yeah.
And it really emphasizes this idea that the body's like this super complex system where everything's connected.
Oh, absolutely. And the source really emphasizes this, holistic view. True well-being comes from addressing all the aspects, the physical, the mental, the energetic.
Yeah, it's like we're trained to see the body in these separate parts. Like, go to this doctor for your heart, this doctor for your gut.
Right.
But this is kind of blurring the lines.
It is. And you know what it made me think of? Preventative care.
Right.
The source mentions that too. It's not just reacting when you have symptoms, but actively taking care of yourself.
Right. Yeah. So it's like noticing the little imbalances.
Right.
And using these tools to kind of stay balanced.
Exactly. Before it becomes a big problem.
Yeah, like a daily tune-up for your mind and body.
I like that. A tune-up.
And it's all through typing. It's so cool.
And, it's really empowering too.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's saying that you have the power to influence your well-being.
Yeah, you're not just waiting for something to happen.
Exactly. You're participating in it.
Yeah, I think that's what I like most about it. It puts you in control.
Mm-hmm.
You choose the issue, you make the affirmations, and you do it your way.
Exactly. And, the source actually goes on to talk about all these other things you can do to, boost your practice.
Oh, bonus tips. I love those.
Right. Well, one of the simplest is hydration.
Oh, yeah. Why?
Drink water before and after.
Okay.
Because it helps with energy flow.
Makes sense.
And then they talk about the power of positive emotions.
Okay.
They want you to smile.
Smile.
Gently smile while you're typing.
So I'm sitting here with a big grin on my face while I'm typing. My family's going to think I'm crazy.
It doesn't have to be a huge smile.
Oh.
Just a softening of the muscles, almost like the Mona Lisa.
Right, right.
Cultivate that feeling of lightness, joy.
And we've talked about the visualization.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering, does the source give any tips for how to actually do that well?
They say to use all your senses.
Okay.
So as you're typing, visualize the chakra,
Mm-hmm.
see the color, feel the energy,
No.
even bring in sound, like the akshara or music.
So it's like this multi-sensory experience.
Yes.
I can see how that would really help.
And then, of course, consistency.
Right, like building a habit.
Exactly. They suggest practicing every day for at least a week or two to really notice the changes.
And that goes back to what we said before, the intention.
Right.
It's not just going through the motions.
No, you have to really believe in it.
And the source also suggests journaling, right?
Yes.
Ah.
To track your progress.
Okay, so I'm writing down how I feel, any changes I see.
Exactly. Even just little things, insights that come up.
So it's like bringing this awareness to the practice.
Yes. And as you get more comfortable, you can really make it your own.
Cool.
Create your own affirmations, find your rhythm, add other things you like.
It's like creating your own language through typing.
I like that.
Well, I think we've covered a lot today.
We have
From reflexology basics to chakras,
aksharas.
We've explored how this typing reflexology system is combining ancient wisdom with this everyday action.
And even though there's not a ton of research on this specific system,
Right.
a lot of these concepts have been around for centuries.
Yeah.
And now science is starting to catch up.
I think the takeaway here is that it's worth trying.
Yes.
Experiment, see what happens, have fun with it.
Exactly.
You might find you have this amazing tool for healing right there on your keyboard.
At your fingertips, literally.
So if anything we talked about today sparked your interest, you can always check out those sources.
Yeah, dive back in.
Look at the techniques, the chakra routines, the affirmations.
And start creating your own practice.
Exactly. And let us know what you think.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your experiences.
Do you think typing could be a path to healing? What really stood out to you today? Keep those questions in mind, and maybe we'll do a follow-up.
That's a great idea.
Until then, happy typing, everyone. This has been such a fascinating deep dive, and we'll see you next time for another journey into the world of knowledge and discovery.